When you hear the word ninja, what image comes to mind? Dark shadows leaping across rooftops, silent assassins vanishing into the night. And of course, the spinning star of death, the Shuriken. Or the sleek, dagger-like kunai flying through the air. But here's the truth. The real story of these weapons is very different from what you see in anime, movies, or video games. Shuriken and kunai were not just tools of death. They were tools of survival, disguise, and clever strategy. Today, let us uncover the real history of the ninja's most iconic weapons, what they were, how they were used, and why their legacy still fascinates us centuries later. The Shuriken, blade hidden in the hand. The word Shuriken literally means blade hidden in the hand, and that gives away its true purpose. Shuriken were small, concealable blades designed to be thrown or used at close range. There were two main types: bow shuriken, straight, spike-like weapons, sometimes resembling nails or needles. Here are shuriken, the flat, star-shaped blades most people recognize today. But here's the surprise: shuriken were rarely meant to kill. Unlike the Hollywood image of a star piercing an enemy's skull, the real use was far more tactical. A ninja would throw a shuriken to distract, wound, or create an opening. Imagine being an armored guard. Suddenly, a sharp object slices your face or hand. Your attention breaks, your stance falters, and in that split second, the ninja strikes or escapes. Some shuriken were coated in poison, making even a scratch dangerous. Others were thrown into the ground to slow pursuit, like primitive caltrops. In skilled hands, they were versatile, not just deadly, the kunai, from tool to weapon. Now let's talk about the kunai. Popular culture shows it as a sleek throwing knife. Think of characters in anime like Naruto, hurling kunai by the dozens. But in history, the kunai wasn't designed as a weapon at all. The kunai was originally a farming and masonry tool. It was shaped like a flat dagger with a ring at the end of the handle. Farmers used it to dig, break up soil, or chip stone. Builders used it for plastering walls. So why did ninjas carry them? Because they were practical and common. Unlike swords, which could draw suspicion, a kunai looked like an ordinary tool. But in the hands of a ninja, it became much more. The kunai could pry open doors, carve footholds into walls, or act as a makeshift climbing hook when tied to a rope. In combat, it could stab, slash, or be thrown if necessary. But its greatest strength was versatility, one tool that could dig, climb, break, or fight. Tools of deception, both the shuriken and the kunai reveal a deeper truth about the ninja. They were not defined by weapons, but by adaptability. Samurai had swords forged by master craftsmen, polished and revered. Ninjas had common tools, iron spikes, digging knives, wooden staves. But they turned them into weapons through creativity. Where the samurai prized honor, the ninja prized effectiveness. If throwing a shuriken distracted an enemy for 2 seconds, that was victory. If a kunai could double as both a crowbar and a weapon, that was efficiency. This is why ninjas were so feared. Not because of their tools, but because you never knew what everyday object might suddenly become a weapon in their hands. The psychology of fear. Another secret of the shuriken and kunai was psychological warfare. Imagine you're a guard at night. Suddenly, something sharp whistles past your ear and sticks into the wall. You can't see the enemy. You don't know if you've been poisoned. Panic sets in. The ninja understood that fear was as powerful as steel. A well-placed shuriken wasn't just a wound. It was a message: you are vulnerable. Even in armor, the shadows are watching. Famous uses in history. Historical records are sparse, since ninjas lived in secrecy. But stories and manuals give us clues. In the Bansenshukai, a 17th century ninja manual, shuriken are described as tools to injure or harass, not to kill outright. They were thrown at exposed areas like the face, hands, or legs. Kunai are often depicted in illustrations of ninjas climbing castle walls, tied with ropes as ankas. Some accounts describe ninjas using kunai to chip through weak plaster or wood, quietly breaking into enemy fortresses. There are even tales of shuriken being left poisoned along paths, so that soldiers stepping on them would later suffer illness or death. Shuriken and kunai in pop culture fast forward to today, and these weapons have taken on new lives. Movies turned the shuriken into unstoppable killing stars. Anime like Naruto made kunai the standard ninja sidearm, thrown in dazzling fights. Video games let players carry unlimited supplies, raining down shuriken like bullets. The truth is less flashy, but maybe more impressive. Because the real ninja didn't need magic weapons. They took everyday tools and used them with skill and imagination. The legacy. What shuriken and kunai teach us is simple. Adaptability beats perfection. A ninja didn't need a polished sword. A sharpened piece of iron used at the right time was enough. Fear is a weapon. The uncertainty of where the attack came from was as powerful as the attack itself. Tools are only as strong as the hands that wield them. A farmer's digging tool in a ninja's hand became a weapon of legend. Even today, martial arts schools practice shurikenjutsu, the art of throwing blades, and train with kunai for both self-defense and historical preservation. Their lessons remain alive, so the next time you see a spinning shuriken or a flying kunai on screen, remember, behind the legend is something more fascinating. These weren't just fantasy weapons, they were the embodiment of the ninja spirit, resourcefulness, stealth, and the power to turn the simplest tool into an edge for survival. The samurai had honor, the ninja had adaptability. And in the silence of night, even a simple piece of iron could change the course of history. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the weapons of the ninja, hit like, subscribe for more warrior history, and comment below, would you carry the shuriken or the kunai?